Okay. Is there any chance that you guys can hear us now?
Please, one of these work. We have sound! Yay!
Okay.
That took way...
They can hear you.
I'm talking as I'm typing, apparently.
They can hear you.
They can finally hear me.
Yep. Sounds nice and clear, too.
Good. Well, hello, everybody. Here we are.
Bye, everybody.
Nick's gonna go back downstairs and watch.
If you hear thumping, that's me banging my head on the wall. Because I don't have any beer. And it's kind of the same effect.
I mean...
Happy birthday, Celosia!
Thank you. So we are back. We are here. We finally figured it out. And that just took almost 45 minutes. So I apologize, guys. It's the first time I have streamed on YouTube. And apparently there was a steep learning curve. Yeah. So. I think we should figure something out. All right. Hopefully. Oh, there we go. People are coming back. Yay! We had to stop and restart the screen because we couldn't figure this out because the microphone was being a pain tonight. But yeah, thank you, Nick. You helped figure it out. Yeah. So, I'm going to pour myself another cup of tea because that's what I'm doing tonight. I have a giant red teapot. Well, not giant. It's only a 4-cup pot. And my fancy dancy little teacup because you gotta have something nice on your birthday, right? So I am running or drinking one of my favorite teas, which is a Madagascar vanilla rooibos, because it's just yummy. And I'm gonna stall just a little bit longer and see if we've got some more people that are gonna come back. I hope so. And then I think we'll get started with a game. So we're gonna do a Mad Lib and have a little bit of fun there. I hope. I mean, I hope it's going to be fun. So, it's going to be barely fun or barely there. I don't know. I'm getting used to things. Okay. All right, so that is figured out. And I think actually before we start with that, let's start with an easy round of trivia. And then we'll jump into the Mad Lib because I would like for there to be some more people here because it's more fun when there's more people. So, let's see what I gotta do, because I'm still figuring out how all this works. Hello, sister! You're here just in time, because we just figured out the mic after fighting with it for a half an hour. So, I'm going to hop over here, and we're going to go to, nope, we're going to go to this, and then, there we go. And now we have some trivia. So, out of curiosity, what category would you guys like to see me do? I gotta figure something out here. Okay. You definitely did more than barely. You want to see me do a history? All right. Just a second, and we will do that. Whew, okay. Hi, Mom! We're gonna do a round of history trivia. You ready? All right, here's history. Ooh. What were listeners to the BBC told when they tuned in to hear the news on Good Friday in 1930? A. Love thy neighbor. B. Jesus died to save us all. C. The Martians have landed. Or D. There is no news. I think it is D. Okay, there we go. Trying to figure out how to monitor chat when I have this window open, so figured it out because I'm smart like that. Okay, who first crossed the English Channel by airplane? Orville Wright, Charles Lindbergh, Amelia Earhart, or Louise Blériot. I think that's how you say that. Honestly, I feel like it's that one. And I was right, apparently. Henrietta Marie of France was the wife of which English king beheaded in 1649? Beheaded in 1649. I am going, Charles I or Edward VII are the two that I'm going for, because obviously Oliver Cromwell was not a king, so he is out of the running, and she was not, that I'm aware of, one of the kings of Henry VIII. I'm going to go on a limb and say Edward VII, and I was wrong. Charles I.
We have an audio echo.
We have an audio echo.
We have an audio echo.
Uh-oh.
Hi. No, not there.
No? Okay.
Not there. Go to slobs.
We apparently have an audio echo.
Yeah. Go back down. Let's go back down. There's two instances. Just mute one of them.
Okay.
Now, wait and check to make sure that the audio is good.
Okay. We're going to wait and check.
Actually, go back to it real quick. Sorry.
Okay. No worries. Excuse us, guys.
Scroll down.
Scroll down.
Check. Audio, remove audio input capture too. No, just mute it.
Oh, wrong button. There we go. Okay. And coming back.
Fixed it. Okay.
Woohoo! All right, so we are back.
Also, there's a solid 20-second delay.
Okay.
So if you want people to answer... Yeah, I know you can't see it, so I'm letting you
Right. Thank you. Okay. During which country's revolution was there a period called the Reign of Terror? All right. I want to say it was in France, but we'll see what everybody else has to say. Interesting. All right, which country do you guys think had a reign of terror? I'm pretty sure it was France. Either France or Russia. Everyone's saying B? Only if you want to, Mom. I'm going to go with France because all of France was a revolution. What was the name of the harbor bombed by the Japanese, causing the USA to enter World War II? That was Pearl Harbor. The Great War was another name for which conflict? World War II, the American Civil War, the Crimean War, or World War I? I was waiting for Rose or Mom to jump into asaria, saria, saria. Yes, I'm definitely going with World War I because that is the answer to that one. All right. Who is the longest serving British Prime Minister of the 20th century? Oh, goodness. The 20th century. Is that... I don't think it was Churchill. I think he would have been gone before the 20th century. Out of office, at least. I think I'm going to go with Miss Margaret. Woohoo! That was a good guess. I love the names. Which military unit consisted of a tenth of a Roman legion? A maniple, a garrison, a squadron, or a cohort? What do you think? The Canucks, huh? I'm leaning towards cohort. For some reason, when I go on my phone, it doesn't update my comments. So that's been fun. So I'm having trouble keeping up with your comments without switching back and forth. So just so you guys know. I'm going to guess cohort. It was Thatcher. Your brain was correct. Okay, I think I was right with cohort. Freud published his most influential book in 1900. What was it called? The Interpretation of Dreams, The Interpretation of the Da Vinci Code, The Interpretation of Women, or The Interpretation of French? What you think? I mean, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this one. It's The Interpretation of Dreams. Oh, which medieval fortress imprisoned French revolutionaries storm on the 14th of July, 1789? Which is the Bastille.
Caroline says you're a little quiet.
Okay. Let's take a look here real quick. Microphone. Now, what is... Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you are a little quiet.
A little quiet.
Here.
All right, we're working on it. Let us know if that's any better. I could bring this towards me a little bit.
You can bring it up a little bit, too, if you want.
Maybe. It is the stubborn one. Ooh. Look, Mom, no hands.
Mom's there, so yeah.
I know. All right.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
didn't work.
No, it doesn't. We have a mic stand that likes to just slowly sink. So. It seems like this is staying. Testing, testing. Do. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, there we... Oh, yeah. Now I go. Now I go? Now I'm going. I don't know. Okay. All right, 9 out of 10. I only got one wrong, so that was actually not too shabby.
Oh, by the way, Winston Churchill was the prime minister in
World War II?
century? Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember. But I was right with Margaret Thatcher, so, you know.
Secretary of the Navy before that.
Ah, all right. So we're going to come back here now that the volume is all fixed on that. And we are going, I think, we are going to play a Mad Lib. So this is what I was thinking. I have the master, of course, because I'm the one running the game. I will give you guys the words that you need, the names of them, noun, adjective, all of those things. And then you guys can pop them into the chat, and then I will read them back to you in the proper form. So, the Mad Lib we are going to do is called The Birthday Party, because that is quite appropriate.
Also, test your comments. YouTube button.
Oh, right. That's what you were saying earlier. Yep. Okay, we're going to do a little test here. You ready? In the comments, 3, 2, 1. Maybe. There it goes. Woohoo! It worked. All right. So we have this piece of technology that is wonderful called a Stream Deck, but we only have the mini, which gives me 6 different little buttons that I can push to make it do things. And I prepared way more than 6 things for tonight. So I have multiple folders and files and things for everything. All right. But if you guys did want to send me a birthday present, you can do so there. Okay, so the birthday party. You guys might need something you can write with, a piece of paper, a pen or a pencil. And I'm going to pour myself another cup of tea out of the teapot that my mother gave me for my birthday. Ooh, I don't remember how long ago now, Mom. It was before we left the farm, so I've had this for over 10 years. I have not tested the second one. We're about to test the second one because I have 2. All right. And the second one. 3, 2, 1. Woohoo! And they work. I mean, we sold the farm the May following, so it's almost been 10 years. So, yeah, that's crazy to think, huh? Okay, so now that you guys have had a little bit of time to find something to write with, you can do it on your phone too if you want. Let's get into our Mad Lib. So the first word you are going to need is a verb. A doing word like running, dancing, mansplaining, I don't know. Okay, long delay. Sorry about that, guys. So we have a verb for the first one. Our second word is an adverb, which is a word or phrase that modifies or qualifies an adjective. So gently, quite, then, there are examples of some adverbs, which is then going to be followed by another adjective. You know, it might actually be a little bit faster. We're going to try this out. Okay. We are going to go. It was adjective. Figure it'll come through in the comments faster. Okay. 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 So verb, adverb, adjective, verb. Verb, adverb, adjective, adjective. Proper noun. Proper noun, proper noun. Noun, adjective, plural noun. Continuing. Plural noun. We will verb, noun, food. This isn't working as smoothly as I thought it would, so sorry. But I'm committed now. A verb is a doing word, running, jumping, acting. An adjective describes something. A proper noun is somebody's name. A general noun is like the name of an item, like Madison, or cup, I think. So there you go. Okay. We're getting close. I've got to figure out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. Small animal. Or just animal, excuse me. Is it plural noun? Yep. Yes, we all know you like hippos. Or if we didn't, we do now. Okay. Veronica, don't do that. Veronica is my niece, and she is the most adorable thing ever. Everyone's a critic. Even my not even 2-year-old. Yep. Not even 2-year-old niece. Okay. All right. We're going to give you guys a little bit of time. In fact, I'm going to find a sheet of paper that's got a blank back to it so that I can participate as well. Because it'll be fun, right? Paper rustling noises brought to you by Celosia Crane. And now I need to find a pen or pencil, so I will be right back. Enjoy this little brief interlude. Okay. I don't even remember what the music is exactly, but I had fun finding those little bits of music to put in there for you guys. All right, I'm working on filling mine out. Okay. Verb, okay, very. Okay, adjective. Plural noun. We're almost there. Okay. Standing. Just an animal. Okay. I keep running into, like, my brain just hitting walls. All right. Okay. I am. All right. Okay. So I've got mine, and I will read it, and then if you guys want, you can share yours in the comments. If not, you can kind of follow along and fill yours in as I read. So, I'm running a very silly party for my birthday. I didn't do that one right. Hang on. I need a different one. That word doesn't work. It said, I'm fancy my best friends. I'm going to stick with that. Oh, toddlers. Okay. Anyway, I'm getting really distracted. And you guys have to put up with it. Actually, no, you could leave, but, I would really like you to stay. Okay, let's start this from the beginning again. I'm running a very silly party for my birthday. I'm fancying my best friends like Nick and Susan and Rose. I missed one there. So, Rose, you get to come to my fancy birthday party. The party will be at Salad. I didn't do that one right either because I couldn't work with it. I don't think I did this right at all. Anyway. I'm confused. I apparently fail at these. That's all right. We're going to try and keep going with it. We stick with salad. All right. So I'm running a very silly party for my birthday. I'm fancying my best friends like Nick, Susan, and Rose. The party will be at the Salad with geese and yeah, I missed like an entire line. All right, so I'm going to make this up as we go. The party will be at the Salad with angry geese and purple shrimp for decorations. First, we will dancing some snacks like shrimp and crackers. And then we will act some party games like standing the eagle on the wall. Oh, wait, no. Standing the eagle on the hippo and sitting the goose. Then comes my favorite part. Swinging happy birthday, sitting presents, and waltzing some sweetly cake. That was very disjointed because I couldn't read the thing properly. Sorry about that. I hope you were laughing with me. Cheers. Eagles on hippos. America. Yes. Okay. So that was fun. I do like cake. I'm hopefully going to make some brownies tomorrow. But we shall see what we shall see. Nep prefers salt, huh? Just poured myself another cup of tea. All right. This has been an adventure. That is for sure. The Salt Lores? Did you mean Salt Lord? Okay, that's what I thought. There's no salt emoji. That is very sad. There should be a salt emoji. Okay. Sadly, no. So thank you for sitting through that with me. Rose, I'm sorry that Veronica's very cranky because daylight savings messed with her. Now, the next thing I was going to do was I was going to read to you guys. Rose found, I'm sorry, I just hit the microphone. Rose found the salt shaker emoji. What is it, the quote from Princess Bride? Life is pain, Highness. Anybody who tells you differently is selling something. I think that goes with IT people too. All right, so one of the other things I was planning on doing tonight was reading you guys a brand new story that I literally finished writing this afternoon. Nick encouraged me to kind of write what he calls a one-off or a one-shot. So it takes place in a world that I have created for my Shades story series, Shades, the Children of Nyx. And I am drinking vanilla rooibos, Mom. And yeah, so the next thing I wanted to do was to give you guys a sample of that story. It is kind of a direct boost shot marketing ploy for my Patreon page. So the plan is once a month I will be writing and sharing these one shots from different worlds that I have created, and they will be specifically for my patrons on Patreon. So for those of you guys who don't know, I have a Patreon. Patreon is a website where you can support independent creators of all sorts of different backgrounds. I'm going to pop up my Patreon thing for a minute so you guys can hear the fun music I picked for that one. And Nick is prompting me. So give me a second here. Here's the link to my Patreon. You guys can take a look and see the different benefits that my supporters get. I've got 3 different tiers that you can pledge your support at. A $1 tier, which gets you access to all of my new story content as well as my Mythology Monday posts. A $5 tier, in which I don't remember exactly now. Hang on, I know how to fix this. I will go. I should have this remembered by now, but apparently I don't. And I made all these fun and pretty posts that I share. Here we go. So my first tier is called the Nymph tier, as in the Greek sprite. The second tier is Dragon. Gets you access to the original stories, gets you access to a patrons only channel in my Discord server, and a monthly video. It might be a live stream. It might be me live reading one of my stories. Yeah, it might be me live reading something else entirely. I'm not sure yet. I'm still figuring those out. I also have a $10 tier. The $10 tier is my highest tier. With that, you get all of the access to everything in the lower tiers. You also get early access, to my podcast episodes for my podcast Bedtime Stories with Celosia Crane, which is a fairy tale and folklore retelling podcast that I started so that I could read stories to littles like Veronica, but more so her older sister, and my other littles that are spread out all over the country and I don't get to read books to. Yeah, so that's that. Those are my things. You can click on the link in chat to look at it a little more closely and get a sample. I also do free posts for everybody that they can read. I do a word of the week on Sunday. I also do a fairy tale Tuesday where I talk about some of the podcast episodes to let people know which stories I've done. I'm really excited and having a lot of fun with this podcast. This morning, I finished recording all of my episodes for December. I have to do a little bit more editing on them, but then they'll be ready to go. And then in January, I am going to be diving into Welsh mythology for the month. So I'm excited about that too, because Welsh mythology is just absolutely fascinating to me. But anyway, I am rambling and rambling. So what I'm going to do is I am going to read to you guys from my story, which at the moment is just titled Eugenie. And the story takes place in my Shades world. So think Victorian, think Industrial Revolution, but mix in the Greek gods and goddesses, and you have a little bit of an idea of what this world is like. So here is Eugenie. I stared out the grimy, soot-smeared window. A single spiderweb crack ran through the pane, emitting a tiny draft. The city that lay beyond the glass was not much better, full of dirt and noise, people overcrowding the streets and alleys. Factories spit their poisonous clouds from their chimneys, the smoke and ash staining everything and everyone. Behind me, the bare room was full up. There were 7 of us living in this one cell-like room. 7 of us, trying our damnedest to stay off the streets. Behind me, Gertrude and Ralph were arguing over something yet again. Gertie's thin, shrill voice rising higher and higher as she tried to argue against Ralph's deeper baritone. The timbre of their voices washed over me, hard and sharp, just like everything else, just like my life. I tried to focus my gaze on the columns of the temple to Athena that stood on the highest point of Port Apollo, furthest away from the noise and dirt of the harbor, and from the narrow alleyways full of the poor workers. Tried to drown out their endless bickering. The room was at least better than a penny sit-up, if for no other reason than it was our own. Suddenly Gertie's voice turned into a shrill screech, and there came the sound of a slap, the cracking sound, skin against skin contact. Then nothing but sobbing. Turning around, I walked through the maze of mats on the floor and made my way to the door. "I'll be back," I tossed over my shoulder as I went out, ignoring Gertie's tears and shutting the door behind me. The hallway was even more barren than our room, the paint and plaster peeling from the walls, while the wood planks of the floor were grooved from continuous foot traffic. I made my way down the narrow stairs and opened the door that led out onto the street. Pulling my tattered wool shawl tightly about my shoulders, I turned away from the crowds hurrying down toward the harbor and the incoming merchant vessel. Instead, I faced uphill and started to walk. The chilly late afternoon was enough to make my ears and the tip of my nose burn with cold after a few minutes. I ignored them and continued along the broad cobbled street. Carts and horses were winding their way up and down from the busy harbor. Trade had been very good this year, and Port Apollo was booming. Factories had cropped up along the Acheron River, south of the Necromantion. The smoke that billowed from their towers, as they labored day and night to produce cotton, timber, and other sundries, only polluted the sky even more. Pausing at a street corner, I leaned against a building wall and willed my breath back into a semblance of order. The slight niggling cough that had developed in my chest these last few weeks reappeared, and it took a long moment to overcome the spasms. My lungs now joined my ears and nose in burning with the cold as I sucked in the air, trying to return my breathing to normal. Looking up the hill, my destination was well in sight. The Temple of Hecate was just visible at the crossroads ahead of me. Hecate, my patron goddess. I often wound my way to her temple when I needed a break from the dirt and noise. There, maybe, I would find a few moments of peace and warmth tonight, before beginning the climb back down the hill to the poor, cold room overcrowded with people. Pushing away from the wall, I stood for a moment. There was a tug on my skirt as I stood there staring up at the roof of the temple. Glancing down, I smiled at the thin child who was staring up at me. I often saw these children about the city. This coming winter was going to be a hard one for many of them. Glancing at this girl, I couldn't help but see the way that her cheeks hollowed beneath her cheekbones, and how sunken her eyes were. I could see her thin neck disappearing into the round collar of a plain and quite oversized wool dress that was ripped and torn in places. The hollows at the base of her neck echoed the impression left by her face. She, like so many other young children in the city, was starving. "Please, miss," She held out a thin, claw-like hand. "Can you spare me a coin? I'm so hungry." Her voice was pleading, and yet it held a despairing, keening wail. My chest constricted as I stared down into her pale, pinched face. I drew my breath in slowly and exhaled again before responding. Blinking in the fading light, I saw her future in a flash. I knew that if I did not help her now, then no one would. And she would be dead by morning. Her tiny, frozen body would be found in an alleyway wrapped in old newspapers. Glancing once more up the street toward the temple, I knew what Hecate would have me do. "What is your name?" I watched her eyes go wide as she stared up at me. "Pearl, miss." I nodded, smiling a very gentle smile. A fitting name. I shifted my hand in through the side slit in my skirt and pulled 2 pennies out of my pocket. Dropping the coins into the little girl's hands, I smiled. "Those pennies should buy you a good dinner, if you go to Barney's pie shop in the next street. Tell him Eugenie sent you, and he might even throw in a donut." I watched the light glow from her sunken eyes as she closed her talon-like fist over the precious coins. "I will do that. Thank you, miss. Thank you." She bobbed a curtsy, a very rough and reprehensible attempt, and then proceeded to turn around and dash away quickly, as though afraid that I was going to change my mind and demand my coin back. With the cough gone for the time being, and my breathing once more under control, I stepped forward toward the temple. There were few people entering the hall this evening, but even so, the fires near the altar burned brightly. Stepping forward, I found my usual place and sank down to my knees to offer up my prayers. How long I actually sat there, I don't know. I often lost track of time when I was in prayer, but a sound broke through my repetitions, the clicking of nails on stone. A pace similar to that of a dog, maybe? It was slow and even. They approached me and then stopped. After a few moments, the sound of a dog panting softly drew me fully conscious, and I opened my eyes. Turning my head slowly, I met the large golden eyes of a beautiful black dog. Its pointed ears stood up high on its head, and its muzzle was long, exhibiting gleaming white canines as its tongue lolled out of its mouth. It blinked slowly, then rose to all 4 legs, and turning began to walk to the door leading further back into the complex of the temple. Once it reached the door, it turned and stared at me, as though waiting for me to follow it. Rising to my feet, I moved to follow the dog in a slow, somnolent manner, for one did not ignore the companion of Hecate. Once I reached it, it moved through the door and into the inner heart of the temple. We passed doors that led into smaller chambers where devotees were sitting at tables transcribing writings or reading scrolls. Further into the heart of the temple there was a large kitchen where women were busy about various tables, pounding dough into loaves and trimming fat away from large sections of meat. The dog barked as it entered the kitchen, and a comely-looking woman glanced toward it. "Oh, so you've returned, have you? And brought another of your mistress's specials with you." Another quick, sharp bark, then the black dog sat down on its hindquarters and stared with its liquid gold eyes. The cook propped her fists on her hips and chuckled. "Well, I've never denied you before, have I?" Turning back around, she grabbed a large bone from a recently dressed hindquarter and tossed it toward my companion. Then, picking up something else that lay on the table beside her, she turned and walked over to where I was standing. "Here you go, miss. Our friend here," she indicated the dog, "never does anything that isn't for a purpose. Eat that meat roll, quick, and then hurry on to whatever you've been called to this night." I took the warm, flour-dusted roll that she had handed to me and ripped it in half. A savory ground meat filled the center. The smells of the meat and spices wafted to my nose, and I ate it greedily. With the hot, filling food in my stomach, the dog left off gnawing on the bone and bumped me with her head. I laughed softly, because it was almost like she was asking if I was ready. All right, I need to take just a real quick break and take a drink. Excuse me. We're not done yet, I promise. I just need more tea. Okay. And my headphones keep coming out of my ears. All right. And going back. Turning, I followed the ebony creature back out into the temple's main hall, and then outside and down the steps. It had almost gone full dark, and I wrapped my shawl even more tightly about my shoulders as I tried to keep up with the dog, who was moving more quickly now. Down a side street, through an alley, across a plaza, she led me on a pretty chase before stopping in a wintry park by a gazebo. A single figure sat in the gazebo, a black cape obscuring their face from my view. The black dog trotted up and sat down beside this figure before turning its head and staring at me as though saying, "Well, what are you waiting for?" I stepped hesitantly forward, and as I entered the gazebo, the figure stood up. A small, long creature ran out from beneath her dress and came toward me, chittering warningly. A rich, warm sound emanated from the hood of the cape then, a soft, chuckling laugh. Don't mind her. She's very protective about those who come near me. Looking down at the dark brown polecat with its white mask and sharp teeth, she whispered a few words and it ran back to her. Scaling her dress as though it had been doing it every day, it perched on her shoulder. "Thank you for listening, Eugenie." She sat back down on the bench she had occupied and patted the empty space beside her. "I was a little fearful that you would not follow my black hound, but I had a feeling, when you shared what little you have with our young Pearl, that you would indeed follow my messengers." I moved forward hesitatingly, and almost against my own will. If I were to believe her, then I was actually in the presence of my goddess, Hecate herself. Sinking down onto the stone, I tried to make sure that I was not touching a single part of her clothing or cloak. A movement made me flinch back. But she was simply lifting her arms, clad in long black gloves, to draw back the hood of her cape from her face. In the limited moonlight that came through the clouds and smoke, she was very beautiful, but in the dark it was hard to tell for sure. "What do you require of me?" My lips trembled as I spoke, still trying to come to the realization that I was sitting face to face with the god that I venerated. I knew that after this night, nothing was going to be the same. Hecate reached over and laid a hand upon my knee. "Not much more than you have done already in my name." Through my skirt and petticoats, I could feel the warmth of her hand. "Little Pearl, whom you fed this evening, is important to me. I need you to help me bring her to the temple, where I can safeguard her." She paused for the briefest moment. "And you are quite right. She would have died this night without your interference. Do not doubt your visions, child, for I have sent them." I shook my head. "How can I find her? The streets and alleys are so filled with the poor these days that finding one little girl seems all but impossible." Here she grinned, and her white teeth shone brightly in the thin moonlight. "Ah, but you shall have Hecate and Gale to help you search. With these two at your side, you shall not fail." Raising her hands up, she lifted the polecat down from her shoulder. "Now, Gale, I need you to behave yourself. Eugenie will require your sharp nose and cunning intellect, if she is to save our pretty Pearl." She placed the polecat on the bench between us, before turning back to the black dog, who had now been named for me. "Hecate, go with her. Help her and protect her. We must find Pearl tonight." There was an urgency to her tone that now caught my attention. "Excuse me, my lady, Why is it so important that I bring her to you tonight?" Hecate's voice grew very somber. "As I told you, she is starving, near to death, and while the food that you helped her purchase has kept her body from fading while it is light, the cold that is coming this evening will sap everything and take her away from me." She rose to her feet, drawing her hood up once more. "Pearl is a very powerful magi. She just doesn't know it yet. We need to make sure that she is kept safe and educated to understand her gifts and powers." She sighed, her shoulders rising and falling with the gesture. "This world is too cruel by far." With that, she turned and walked away, leaving me sitting alone in the gazebo with her two companions. After a brief moment of stunned silence, Hecate rose to all fours and gave a sharp little bark. I nodded my head. "Yes, I understand." Getting to my feet, I watched as the black dog began to move away from the gazebo and back toward the dark maze of alleyways and narrow streets. "Hecate, wait! It is too dark, and my eyes are not as sharp as yours." Gale twittered angrily from up ahead, before scampering away in the odd little run that is unique to polecats and ferrets. The large black dog turned her head and watched me as I caught up with her. Bumping my hand with her head, she let me know that I could touch her. So, with my hand on her head, we continued into the dark maze. Ahead of us, a strange rattling sound, like metal being dragged across the pavement, came closer and closer. Stopping very near to us, I heard Gale's chittering tones and knelt down to see what she had brought back with her. A heavy candle lantern with a large candle affixed in the center met my hands. I lifted it, unlit, and carried it with me. I could hear Gale's pause as she ran off into the darkness once more, this time returning with a long, thin straw. I chuckled softly. "How clever you are, little Gale." Nearing the corner of the street, there was a large metal barrel filled with burning rubble. Groups of people were gathered about it, warming their hands, oblivious to anyone else. Taking Gale's piece of straw, I lit it from the fire and managed to light the wick of the candle in the lantern. With this weak light, I followed the two animals as they led me down paths and through alleys. Finally, Gale scampered down a flight of steps, and in front of a heavy iron-bolted door, I saw the bundle of newspapers from my earlier vision. Drawing a few pages away, I saw the drawn face. Cold had pinched her features even more than when I had first seen her earlier this evening. She was shaking badly from the cold, but I could see she was still breathing. "She's still alive." The words escaped my lips on a rush, and the tight coil of fear that had been winding itself ever more tightly in my chest as we had searched relaxed. I had found her, and she was still alive. Unwrapping my shawl from around my shoulders, I leaned down towards the poor child. "Pearl." I said her name quietly, trying not to frighten her. However, her large sunken eyes flew open at the sound. She started up, as though ready to run. "Pearl, wait!" I reached out a hand. "Don't you remember me? From earlier this evening." She paused, and in the light from the candle lantern I could see her eyes narrow in on my face, before her entire posture relaxed. "Oh, it's you, miss." I smiled. "Yes, it's me." "What are you doing here? This isn't the right place for you. You ought not be here." She glanced around wildly, and at that moment spied Hecate. "Is that dog yours?" I shook my head, though I heard the fear in her voice. "No, I don't rightly think Hecate belongs to anyone, except maybe to the goddess Hecate." I reached out a hand. "But don't worry, she won't hurt you." The thin face turned back to me. "Why are you here, miss? I ain't done nothing wrong." Reaching out a hand, I offered her my shawl, and she grabbed it eagerly. That is a story for another time, Pearl, a time that isn't quite so cold. I laughed softly, not wanting the child to realize that I was starting to get cold as well. But in truth, I've come to take you somewhere warm, where you'll get enough to eat and be taught a lot of very fascinating things. She froze, her eyes narrowed with anger and suspicion. I won't go back to the poorhouse. You can't make me. She almost started to try and run away. But then Gale was there, chittering angrily at her. She jumped back, staring down at the little brown polecat. I promise you, Pearl, I wouldn't take you there to begin with. I know only too well the kind of cheer the poorhouse provides. I grew up in one, and truthfully, I've barely even escaped that. I lifted the lantern and began to walk up the steps. No, where we are going, no one will abuse you, and you will have freedom to learn what you wish. At the top of the stairs, I turned and looked down at the poor, thin creature. Hecate herself sent me to find you. She is quite concerned about you and wants you to come to her house. Pearl came up the stairs hesitantly, and in that moment I realized that she wore no shoes. Her poor feet were purple and the skin cracked in many places. The goddess? She's real? Her voice was hesitant and hopeful. Reaching out my hand, I took her cold, thin one within mine. Yes, she is very real. Now come. It is time for us to go. There was no more resistance. Now she came with me willingly. Hecate let out a soft bark and led the way while Gale hopped and jumped ahead of us. Sooner than I thought, we were climbing the stairs toward the main temple hall. Then Hecate was leading us through to the inner complex again, leading us toward the kitchen, whose great hearth had been bedded down for the night, illuminating the large cavernous room with a soft red glow. There, the comely cook was waiting for us, with cups of hot tea and bowls of soup. Then, as I sat dazed and wondering over my adventures this evening with Hecate lying sleeping with her snout resting on my foot, I leaned forward and laid my head on my folded arms on the top of the table, closed my eyes, and fell asleep. Someone shook me awake in the dark hours before dawn. Starting up, I stared about me wildly. Who is it? Hecate sat down in the chair beside me, her hand reaching out to the pitcher of wine and the wooden goblets that sat on the table. You may relax, Eugenie. She poured 2 glasses and offered me one. For you are safe. She took a drink and leaned back in the chair. And where you belong. I clutched the glass with my hands, unsure of what exactly she had just said. I'm sorry, what do you mean? Hecate turned her head and met my sleep-fuddled gaze. You are welcome to remain here for as long as you like, for it is here that you also truly belong. Lifting the cup to her lips, she paused, chuckling once more. Drink your wine, Eugenie. Truly, you are safe. Tomorrow, one of my handmaidens will show you to your new rooms. Standing up, the goddess set her hand on the top of my head. Welcome home, my child. And that is the end of Eugenie, because I didn't give it any more of a title than that tonight. So thank you for listening. And if you liked that, please consider hopping on over to Patreon and supporting me there. Your support at this moment directly goes to the production of my podcast, Bedtime Stories with Celosia Crane. Yeah. So I had fun writing that. So I don't know if I said at the beginning or not, but probably about 2 days ago, Nick challenged me to write a one-off or a one-shot set within a world that I had already created. So a story that involved a character in the world, but not directly related to my other stories. So that is where this came from. I found a vintage Victorian photograph on Pinterest that inspired my character, and I literally wrote almost all of it today. So that was a lot of fun. Partly because I've really been struggling with my writing lately. Just finding new rhythms and, yeah, getting back into it. So it was really great to be able to write something today. Cheers! I know I told everybody in the loose sign up layout, I don't remember what I called it, but that I was going to read that at 7:30. So I hope people who wanted to hear it didn't miss it. And thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. So I think I want to go back and do another round of trivia. Now, I can't really see comments when I have that screen up. So before I get started, before I bring that up, I am curious. We're going to get it to reload. Okay. So we have general knowledge, dictionary, entertainment, food and drink, geography, or science and nature. Do you guys have a preference? Of which category I tackle next? As I pour myself another cup of tea. So I am leaning towards either food and drink or general knowledge, I think. Bye, Rosie. Thank you for coming. So the topics are, I'll pop them into, so general knowledge, food and drink. Oh, wrong one. Dictionary.
I may have a solution to your not being able to read chat.
Ooh, well, I have to keep hopping back and forth.
Yes, I can fix that.
I'm not used to only having one screen while I stream.
I know the feeling.
All right, Nick is helping me out here. And while he does that, we're going to pop up a little something for y'all. We're going to go to this screen.
Make sure you don't have a live mic.
I shouldn't, but... Do-do-do.
You have a live mic.
Okay. Okay. And we are back.
I disagree with food and drink as a category.
What, should it be more than a category?
Oh, yeah, it always should be more than a category, but I think we should be doing trivia on 21st century neon Victorian authors.
Well, I mean, I only know one of those.
I'd lose. You know more about them than I do. Hi, everybody. I'm just stopping in.
Hello.
Bye, everybody. I'm done stopping in.
All right, so we're going to do food and drink. Do.
Also, she can see her chat now, but she has to have the patience to wait for people to answer now.
Okay, so our first question is, dates grow on which of these trees? A, spruce, B, palm, C, lacquer, D, oak. I didn't even know that lacquer was a type of tree. I'm not sure I believe that it is. $49 Damocles says A. Anybody else going to chime in? Susan comes in with B. All right, I am agreeing with B because they grow on date palms. What cuisine would one partake of at a taverna? Catalan, Greek, Lebanese, or Italian? I'm actually going between A and D. Taverna. I'm gonna say Italian. I'm gonna go with that. Nope, I was wrong. Catalan? Oh, goodness. I'm not gonna get much points on this one. It was Greek. So, Damocles, you were right. I was very wrong with both of my guesses. Ooh. Which brand of coffee was named after a Tennessee hotel? Nescafe, Starbucks, Maxwell House, or Kenco? Well, we know it wasn't Starbucks because they started in Seattle, not in Tennessee. I'm gonna rule that one out. I've never even heard of Kenco coffee. Have you guys heard of Kenco? I'm thinking it's Maxwell House. Jordan thinks it's Nescafe. Yeah, I'm agreeing with that. I'm going to go with my gut and say Maxwell House. Yay! Ooh. The pawpaw fruit is otherwise known as what? We know satsumas as clementines or cuties, basically, in case you guys hadn't heard that term before. So I don't think it's the Satsuma or the Mandarin. The kiwi would kind of make sense because it's furry on the outside. Anybody in chat have an opinion? You know it's not kiwi? Okay. I don't think that's right, Nick. I think that's the Mandalorian, which is very different from a mandarin. Not nearly as tasty. I'm gonna guess papaya. Apparently a papaya is also called a pawpaw. That's kind of cool to know. Ooh, what are the ingredients of the British dish toad in a hole? Grilled frog's legs, fried toad and cranberry juice, sausage and Yorkshire pudding, peach halves and semolina. It's actually not what I was picturing. I know toad in the hole is something very different, but I'm pretty sure it's C. Because I'm pretty sure fried toad and cranberry juice is not a thing. Woohoo! We were right. I'm not technically British. I mean, my family can trace ourselves back now to England, but I take my mom's word on it because she's actually been there several times. Okay, what floats at the top of an Irish coffee? Cream, liqueur, whiskey, or coffee? I'm trying to figure out which would actually float to the bottom, or sink to the bottom, I should say. Because it's either whiskey or coffee. And I want to say that the whiskey is at the bottom. What floats at the top of an Irish coffee? An Irishman. That does sound appropriate. Very probable. I think I was trying to mix probable and appropriate, and it came out as probable or something. Irish coffee has cream on it. Well, I mean, I should know that, if from nothing else, from watching the original Love Bug, when they make Kirby drunk by putting Irish coffee in his gas tank. All right, we're going with cream or liqueur. I know it is not liqueur, so we're going to go with cream. Woohoo! Carbonated drink dispensers in the USA are sometimes known as what? A, soda fountains, B, soda taps, C, soda hoses, D, soda fridge. I'm going with soda fountains. I've never heard of a soda hose. I got to educate somebody on this just the other day. Traditionally, what is a petit four? And it is a small cake. Usually it's like bite size. What is the main ingredients in fairy floss or cotton candy? It's sugar. The popular golden sponge cake finger with creamy filling is known as what in the USA? Sponge finger. That's what I want. It's a Twinkie. Who are we kidding? Woohoo! Not too bad. I only got one really wrong, so I'm fairly happy with that. And let's do geography. Because I like geography. And I also like tea. out of my pretty teacup that sits on its pretty saucer. Because I had to be all posh. Actually, I haven't drunk tea out of a proper teacup in a while, so it's kind of nice to do it tonight. Which country, sometimes called the Heart of Africa, is known as Tasad in Arabic? Chad, Egypt, Tunisia, or the Sudan? It's not Egypt. It might be Tunisia. And I could be saying that wrong. I just saw Sponge Finger sounds like a Pearl Jam song. Sadly, it's Chad. Thank you, Jordan. Which of these European cities is not a nation's capital? I want to say Munich. At least it's not a hanging, Chad. But ching. Just kidding. Tea. It's too late in the day. That's what I'm thinking is Munich. Because I know Helsinki and I know Warsaw. I'm not sure on Kiev. All right, we're going to go with Munich. And we were right. Good job. The Suez Canal runs between the Mediterranean and which other sea? I know this from reading, or I should say listening to Around the World in 80 Days, which is narrated by Jim Dale, who is one of my absolute favorite narrators. He has such a mellifluous voice. And it is the Red Sea. Here's an easy one. If we get this one wrong, we're in trouble. The Suez Canal is also what helped Nellie Bly when she did her race around the world shortly after Around the World in 80 Days was published. You think the Eiffel Tower is in Las Vegas? Well, a Eiffel Tower is in Las Vegas, so you're not entirely wrong. I don't know that I've seen a replica of it in New York, but we all know where it really is. Oh, we'll do dictionary next, Mom. Which country has an Atlantic coast? I think it's Algeria. Nope, I was wrong. Is it Morocco? New York, New York. Everything is in Las Vegas. Is that what you're trying to say? You think I was wrong with Algeria. I thought Algeria too. I know it's not Egypt. I don't know where Tunisia is. I'm going to go Morocco next. It was Morocco. Okay. I know this one just by looking at how that's spelled. Susan, can you tell me where this lake is? I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it. Also known as Bala Lake. Is the largest natural lake in which country of the UK? Right. You just have to look at the first word to know the answer to that. Nope, that's the wrong kind, Nick. See, she actually got it right, but they don't have that spelling here. For those of you, well, just about all of you probably don't know, but Susan is learning Welsh. And Nick calls her Phil. Which country popularized the daiquiri cocktail, named after one of its beaches? Cuba, Jamaica, Bermuda, or Trinidad? I don't know this one. Oh, that's a very cute little whale emoji. I like that whale emoji. Daiquiri, daiquiri. I don't think it's Cuba. I feel like Jamaica or Bermuda. We'll try Bermuda. Nope, it wasn't Bermuda. You think it was Cuba? B or C? It wasn't Bermuda. It wasn't Jamaica. It was Cuba. Process of elimination. Oh, this one's easy. What nation is an anagram of the word male? Mali. Karlsplatz is a famous square in which city? It does sound very Vienna, and I agree with you. The 12 Apostles is a collection of limestone stacks in which state? Oof. Somewhere in Australia. Queensland, South Australia, New South Wales, or Victoria? This is going to be a total guess on my part. I don't know very much at all about Australian geography. Anybody else have a thought? Because I don't know. I'm going to be doing process of elimination here. I'm going to start with New South Wales. And it's not that. You want to guess A? It wasn't A. We're going to get this on the last one again. It was Victoria, so not quite the last one. Not so good on that one. All right. Now we should do dictionary because I like words a lot. Like on Saturday, so yesterday, because yesterday was Saturday, Susie Dent, who is a lexicographer, she used to work for the Oxford English Dictionary. I know her from her work on the show Countdown in England, but she shared her word of the day was suspire, which means to finally release your breath. And I was like, that is such a perfect word. All right, so the meaning of the word felicity: cattiness, happiness, congratulations, or criminality. And yes, Jordan, it is B. Which can be a Hindi name for a day or a loud noise. Yeah, I think I'm thinking B on this one too. I'm thinking din. I could be very wrong, and it could be thud. But we're going to try B. Woohoo! What does concupiscent mean? And I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I want to say it means lustful. Thud is a Terry Pratchett book, not a Hindi Day of the Week. You are very correct. It's an excellent Terry Pratchett book. I remember listening to it during the 2016 elections and just thinking how on point it was with some of the subject matter. We do too, Jordan. We very much so love Terry Pratchett. So any thoughts on concupiscent? Is that how you would say it? Or no, it would be concupiscent. I'm leaning towards A. And I was right. The word striate means what? It means striped. Oh, there are lots of fun words. Though my favoritist word is hippopomonstrosiquibidalophobia, which amuses me greatly because the definition is the fear of long words. And my second favorite word is defenestrate, which is the act of throwing someone or something out of a window. Which word could mean cascades or stumbles? Yes, the defenestration of Prague. Yes, I agree with A. What is the word for the appearance of floating in the air as if by magic? Elevation, rotation, gyration, or levitation? Oh, I can't do that. That's copyrighted music. Woo! Almost started to sing the Jeopardy theme. I'm agreeing with levitation. Which bathroom fixture can also mean submerge? Sink. That was an easy one. Which name means to sell goods in the street? Robin, vulture, dove, hawk. I'm leaning towards D, hawk, because they called them hawkers. I'm sorry if I start to yawn. My work schedule lately has been 4 a.m. shifts, and so it is actually getting close to being my bedtime, even though I don't work tomorrow. Which is nearest the meaning to the word saturnine? Saturnine. I'm probably saying it wrong. I think I'm going to go with stormy. Tis D, gloomy. Thank you, Jordan. Which is nearest in meaning to the word frowsy? Scruffy, sexy, silky, or salty? I know the answer to this one, but I'm curious. Curious what y'all think. You think silky? I hate to tell you, but you're wrong. Yep, scruffy. Woohoo! 113. W? Okay. Let's go general knowledge. Irish author Anne Enright won the 2007 Man Booker Prize for which novel? I have absolutely no idea, but the God of Small Things is ringing a faint bell. I don't know why. I think you have a typo there, Nick. I think it was supposed to be you don't have to tell me. You're going with W again? So, Mom, is it like when Carissa chose C for everything in that game? The Gathering. Well, let's try that one. If a baby is born breech, what part of them presents first during birth? Shoulders, feet, head, or knees? Oof.
What's up?
Nothing. You're coming up?
I'm coming up for a minute.
He's going to come join us for a minute.
Hello.
So Phil says B. When I picture
Breech?
when I picture it, that's not what I picture,
Nope,
but...
breech birth is feet first.
Oh.
I had to come up because Jordan keeps beating me to the answer. So
Who discovered Niagara Falls? Not Louis Armstrong.
I am abstaining from this one because I grew up there. So
Yeah.
I know the answer.
It's not A or C.
You know B too.
Yeah?
Yeah. Louis Walsh.
The name's not ringing a bell right now.
It would if I showed him to you.
Okay. It was not Louis Armstrong. Nap. Louis Vuitton brought all his designer travel bags when he discovered Niagara Falls.
Well, of course.
I mean, it's canon now.
I thought you were going to say it's Canada now.
Well, I mean, depending on which side of the falls you're on.
Very true. Although I'm pretty sure that he did go over the falls in a Louis Vuitton trunk.
Ooh.
Yes, it was Louis Hennepin.
Which religion has the annual pilgrimage known as the Hajj? Islam.
Yeah. Give them a chance to answer.
Well, some of them
Yeah,
feel like
let
really.
Let 'em answer.
I also forget sometimes that not everybody knows the stuff I know. Which member of the Rolling Stones was flown to a hospital in
I
New
know this one
Zealand
too. I remember
after
when this
he
happened.
fell out of a coconut tree in Fiji?
Specifically, he fell out of a coconut tree.
Was he?
No, he was stone sober. He climbed a tree to get a coconut.
That's what I was gonna ask.
And fell out of a coconut tree, and he was like 80.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I have
exactly
a guess.
Who this is. No.
Not the second letter of the alphabet.
Oh, we want you to tell us, or they want us to tell them.
Oh.
It was Mick Jagger.
Oh, okay. No.
No? Oh, sorry, I meant Keith Richards.
That's who I was trying to like sign to you. Was B.
Okay, I thought you were signing to me the initials. It
No,
was
I'm
Keith
sorry.
Richards. Yeah. And everybody made fun of him. Everybody claimed he was on drugs. He was like, "No, I fell."
Yeah.
I was,
Have you ever tried to climb a coconut tree? Which of these countries has a population of over 100 million?
I want to get rid of that.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Remind me later. Some of these countries has a population of over 100 million? I mean, I've seen the traffic in Nigeria.
Right.
But I don't know about the other countries.
My thought is either B or D.
Nep says B.
Nep says B. All right, Nep.
We're counting on you, buddy.
Great job.
Hey, I'm looking at the wrong monitor. Like, why didn't it click?
Automobile manufacturers Volkswagen Group have their headquarters in which country?
I know this one too.
I feel like I should know this one.
It's Germany. Volkswagen?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a German company.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that their headquarters are there.
True, but their headquarters are in Germany.
Okay. I will take his word for that.
Alyssa agrees.
Which country does not share a border with the Czech Republic?
Oh, I should know this, and I don't.
I want to say it's the Ukraine. Because I believe Slovakia is in between.
Let's see. Nep says B. Napoleon. Napoleon would know something about Western Europe. And don't worry, Napoleon, I did not get her to queue up Waterloo.
No, he didn't.
So, you want to go with Ukraine?
I am going to go with the Ukraine because I am pretty sure that Slovakia is in between the Ukraine and the Czech Republic. Which English term is not widely used in the United States?
Oh.
A?
Yes.
I mean, the other ones are like
I think it's A.
common terms.
You know what a Mexican wave is?
No.
It's a wave, the wave in a stadium. Yeah, they call it a Mexican wave.
Okay. Which word comes last alphabetically?
Oh, God, don't ask me the alphabet. Don't give me tips. I saw your hand move. I'm not, no.
Nope, I was wrong.
I think I know.
I think I know too. I had to stop and think about it because I was almost going to guess that wrongly.
I was about to guess it wrong. I think it's... Oh. Nep says B.
It's not B. Because L comes before O.
Yeah.
I want to say it's bookshelf.
I think it might be bookshelf. Phil says bookshelf. Yep. Phil and Jordan say bookshelf.
We got a 9 out of 10, folks.
Yay! Napoleon wins again.
All right, we got 2 left. Entertainment or science and nature?
Ooh, good question.
Mm-hmm.
And in case anybody out there is wondering, no, I don't get a chair.
I mean,
It's just
you
the nature of
could
things.
get a chair if you wanted to. We have 3 of them outside of the one I'm sitting on in this room.
Yeah,
But that would take too much effort.
it would take a lot of effort. It's more fun to just bitch. Really.
All right. So we're going to do one more round, and then I promised that I was going to do the book raffle from my Patreon sign up from last month, so I need to make sure I do that. So, for our final round tonight, are we going to do entertainment or science and nature?
I say let them pick.
Okay. I will try not to sing the Jeopardy theme song again.
Yes.
I caught myself.
Yes, and also, today's not the day to sing the Jeopardy
That's
theme song.
also very true. I forgot about that.
I'm sitting down now.
He feels the need to announce it.
Well, I thought they might wonder where I went.
Oh. But then we could not see you? Oh. If you sat down, then we could not see you, says Phil.
Oh. Well, I'm sitting down and you can't see me, Phil. Prophetic. You know who I think needs to make an appearance
Yeah.
after this round?
Okay. So we're going to do science and nature because I have a feeling I'll do better on that than entertainment.
Yeah, probably. Unless they ask a lot of questions about Little House on the Prairie.
Am I sponsored by water? No, but I
No.
was thirsty and I really enjoy the seltzer water. All right, which of these followings is not a species of fox?
I think it's bat-eared.
I think it's bat-eared too.
Bat-eared or Tasmanian, though? Is there a Tasmanian fox?
That's a good question.
I do not know.
I do not know.
I do not know.
Shall we find out? We're going to find out if there's a Tasmanian fox.
There is.
There is
isn't.
not.
There isn't. I got
We
it
were
that
correct.
backwards.
What planet lies between Venus and Mars? I really hope you guys get this one right.
I'm not even saying it. Clearly, it's Nemesis.
Phil is guessing B.
B. B.
B.
B.
Finger hovering over mouse. Anyone else have a comment? Us.
Neptune. I think you were wrong on that one. Oh, I know this one.
The moray, black ribbon, and leopard are all species of which sea creature? I know this one too.
Which one do you think it is? Which one?
You want me to say it out loud? They haven't responded yet.
That's true.
So I'm going to let them take a shot first.
Okay. Hey, Phil, can you still see me? Hi. Yucky, yucky eel. What did you think it was?
I thought it was eel.
Okay, you sure it's not seal? Oh.
Yep, I'm sure. It was a moray. That gave it away. What is Tim Berners-Lee credited with inventing?
I know.
I don't.
I totally know, and you should know because I told you. And we had a conversation about it. And as soon as I remind you of the conversation, you'll go, oh, yeah.
Most likely. I have a thought.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to think.
It might even turn into a response.
Oh, dear.
Hmm.
Can't have that.
Why not?
I don't know.
Okay, just checking. There's no knowing where we're going.
Everything is copyrighted.
Yup.
So, anybody any ideas? Let's get this train back on the tracks.
I'm going to guess A.
Yes. You know how I know? Or you know how you knew? He chose World Wide Web as the name for it
Because it was
the abbreviation is longer to say than the name.
www.
is longer to say than World Wide Web.
Yes.
And he did it on purpose. Oh.
What is the
I don't know
familiar
this.
name given to the young of an eel?
Boyo? How you doing there, Boyo? I hope you're
leaning
having a good day,
towards
Boyle.
spawn.
Spawn.
Because they are eels.
Yeah, true.
And I do believe...
I was so bad for it to be Eewit. I kind of wanted to be Eewit too, because that would be adorable.
There's a Terry Pratchett quote that's like right on the tip of my tongue. Oh, this way to the egress. That's what it was. You like Elver. Well, let's try Elver. Good job, Mom.
Oh, Elver.
Yeah,
A baby eel is an Elver.
apparently. Not quite as cute as Eelit.
Oh, this one has a giveaway in the question.
Which planet at the time was discovered by Clyde Tombaugh in 1930?
No, see, he was from the Midwest, so that name is Tombaugh.
Tombaugh?
Tombaugh. Yep.
Ah.
Clyde Tombaugh. But if he was from Buffalo, it'd be Tombaugh.
Tombaugh.
Clyde Tombaugh.
Don't you know?
No. Buffalo, not Wisconsin. Oh, yeah, that Clyde Tombaugh over there, don't you know?
Yeah, we're going with B.
Yeah.
Barnacle and Toulouse are breeds of which creature?
I think they're gooses. How dare they throw shade at Pluto? It's a planet. I mean, there's really not a great definition of what is and isn't a planet. It's kind of loose and changes every decade or two. I think they're gooses.
I feel like there is a animated Disney character, a animal animated Disney character whose name is Toulouse. And I am not coming up with it.
Well, there's also a painter whose name is Toulouse.
Well, yes, Toulouse-Lautrec.
Mm-hmm.
I actually want to say it's mouse, but I was wrong.
I think it's gooses.
You think it's gooses? Good
Yes.
job.
Barnacle geese.
Really?
Yep. They're ugly.
In which part of the body are the metatarsal bones?
Metatarsal? I know.
I do too.
Because I've broken them.
Toulouse is a
The
goose. Is he in
Toulouse.
Aristocats?
How funky is your chicken? Toulouse is your goose.
Basted. He's marinated.
The three cat. Yep. Yep. Aristocrats. Aristocats.
Aristocats. Yes.
Aristocats.
It's actually a pretty good one. I enjoy it.
Wouldn't know.
The metatarsal bones are in the...
They're in the foot.
Foot.
The metacarpals are in the hands.
Ah.
Take a look at my x-rays one day. You'll see all of them.
How many square inches are in a square foot?
I know this.
And it was one of the kittens was named Toulouse, and he was named after Toulouse-Lautrec.
The answer is gross, is what the answer is.
I know what gross is, but it's escaping me. Math is hard. I'm guessing. Nope, I was wrong. Was I right the first time?
You want me to give you a dad pun for it?
Sure.
I got 144 severed noses in the mail. That's gross.
The bird sometimes called the yaffle is usually known as the green what?
I don't know. I don't deal in yaffles. Listen to your mother.
She said A.
Yep.
C didn't work in this case, Mom.
She said A.
I know, but we were I made a joke earlier.
Yeah. I heard it.
We were playing this board game called Worst Case Scenario Survival Game, which is hysterical.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah. And my niece Carissa was like 5 maybe at the time. And she thought it was funny to, we'd be like, which one should we choose? And she'd go, C! And like over 50% of the time, obviously. But it was right, and it just turned into this giant rolling joke. I think Yaffle is a great name for a cat. I also want to name a cat Astrophe. Because then it can be a catastrophe. That one is not original to me.
I think it's a woodpecker.
A green wood. That's the only bird I could think of that would be a green something.
Yes.
All right. So, we said somebody.
Appearance?
Yes, we're going to have a very special appearance for a moment here.
Provided I can get there.
Yeah. Somebody's like, what are you doing? All right. Hold on. I got to change my scene. Back to this one. Hi, guys. Here I am all big again. And look who's coming to visit. Well, maybe in a minute you can see. It's Benny! Benny the bearded dragon. He's like, Dad, what did you just do?
Napoleon knew who was coming.
Well, Napoleon's smart. I don't even know why I have these in.
Yeah.
Because I'm not getting any sound through them.
You wouldn't. It's all muted.
Yeah.
You can show him. Here, you want me to show him to the camera?
Yeah.
I have a little bit more practice.
He's like, yeah, I'm still getting used to handling and moving him around.
Oh, I bumped the mic, sorry.
That's all right. And this is Benny.
Say hi, Benny.
Or
hi.
Benedict Smog Holmes as his full name.
Mm-hmm.
He's our good boy.
He's a very good boy. Oh,
You almost
hi.
bumped it again.
Lick, lick, lick.
He's like, Dad, what are you doing?
Oh. Here, go to Mama.
Hey, come here.
There you go. Oh, he's hooked on my sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like a toddler when he gets riled up. He just wants to go everywhere. But he's like, Dad, I didn't like that.
Phil's checking out. You can say bye. You don't have to type it.
That's true. I was just going to type a response. Thank you for coming, Mom. I hope you had some fun. I'm really glad you were here. And thank you for the happy birthday. Bye.
Bye, Phil. Yep, Benny's hidden behind the microphone now.
Benny is hidden behind the microphone. But he's sitting up high on my shoulder. Oop, wrong way. There we go. Look at him. He's like, what's going on? I don't know that I like this. They took me out of my thing. I was under the nice warm light. And now they're making me do stuff.
It's like 2 hours before bed and they're making me exercise. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Here, let me fill the rest of the frame here. There we go.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
All right. So, he's still shedding a little bit. He's been growing lately, so he's been doing lots of shedding. But he's our good boy. He's our office companion. He sits there when I'm recording at like 5 o'clock in the morning because, my body naturally wakes up on my days off at like 4:30. Because usually I'm up at 2:30. And he just kind of looks at me like, what are you doing? Yeah. I just noticed something. Your fingernail polish almost matches my eyeliner.
Yeah, it does. Ooh. Okay, you want me to take him?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, because I need
He'll say bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye, Benny.
Say bye-bye, Benny.
He's like, Dad, I don't like this.
Bye-bye. I got him.
Yeah. He's much better at that because he's had him since he was itty-bitty.
Okay, bud.
But that's our buddy. Our buddy Benny. He's a better buddy Benny. Better buddy Benny. Yep, that came out right.
Better buddy Benny. Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, Benny's a lot thicker. He's put on weight.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
It is.
Napoleon says bye, Benny.
Bye, Benny.
He waved.
It's more than he's ever done for me.
He
Though
gives
he
you
does
kisses.
he does give me kisses. Now, for the important bit. So, last month I did a drive through my Patreon, where if you were a new patron during the month, I would enter you in. I would enter you into a raffle to win a copy of the anthology Winter Whimsy, which I was published in almost 2 years ago now.
Almost 2 years ago.
Yeah. It went on to become a winner of the International Book Awards, as well as winning another award through the Texas Authors Award category. And yeah, so the story that my world shades first appeared in is actually in this anthology. And it's full of really neat stories. There's a total of, I believe, 11 different stories in here. So I made a list. I have a random name picker app on my phone. So I put all of those patrons into the random name picker. That is the wrong one. I got to go into the right one. And I am going to choose I accidentally just deleted somebody, so hang on. I can add them back in. Okay, choose names. Okay, there we go. List reset and all names. So I have 6 people in this giveaway. And I am going to hit choose on this random app name generator, and it is going to pick the person who won this copy of my anthology, and then I will personally sign it for them and mail it to them.
And I won't sign it because I'm not in that book.
No, he's not. We haven't written our book together yet.
And I'm incapable of whimsy.
Yes. Yeah. He wanted to write a story with killer snowmen, right?
Killer snowmen. Yeah, that was my idea.
That was
and
because he was approached to be in this anthology.
And the publisher went, let's talk about this.
All right.
Go on.
And the finger is hitting the button. Woohoo! My most recent patron is actually the winner of the anthology.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, John, I will reach out to you and we will get that figured out and sorted.
Congratulations, John.
So, John is the winner of the Winter Whimsies anthology. So, thank you.
Yay!
Woohoo! And that is done.
Napoleon likes the killer snowmen.
Yeah,
Well,
they're just not super whimsical.
Here's the thing. I'm going to promo me a little bit because
Go right ahead.
That's Napoleon, so I can do this.
Yes, that's true. And I'm on your channel, so.
Well, Napoleon, maybe I will do a one-shot for December.
Ooh, that could be
for
fun.
Christmas about killer snowmen. But it might be patron only.
Ooh. I don't know anymore.
I do. I do. I'm just going to stand here like this behind you. That's not creepy, right? That's not creepy at all.
It's a good thing I know you, huh?
Yes, we live together.
I
It's a
mean,
good thing
yeah.
you know me.
I mean, there is that. There is that.
Jordan supports the killer snowman as well.
Jordan, I'm sure it'll be an entertaining read/listen.
It'd be a listen.
Yeah.
Because I do listens.
I do
for the most
listens
part.
too. My podcast has its own, well, it's sort of just my podcast at the moment, but I have my own channel here on YouTube. But for some reason, YouTube requires you to wait 24 hours after you activate the live streaming feature, and so we weren't able to do this on my channel.
We were trying to do it on her channel.
We were trying to do it on my channel.
Oh.
I don't know that it would have been any better or worse. We probably still would have had mic issues.
It would have been the same, yeah. It would have been the same, but it would have been on your channel.
Yeah. So anyway, if you like the story, check out my channel, which is under Celosia Crane.
Yes.
Right here. I mean, if you see the comments, I'm in the comments with my little logo with the red flower on the cream background. That's me.
Yep.
You can click right on there.
Yep.
Yum, 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 yum.
You can also find her on Twitter
I
at
am.
Celosia Crane. And Facebook at Celosia Crane.
Celosia Crane author.
Author.
On Instagram, I have a totally different name. I am the_exotic_ant.
AUNT.
Not the little critter.
Not the oops, there goes another rubber tree plant.
No, not that kind.
The I can't think of a funny ant thing.
That's okay.
Aunt. She's an aunt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm starting to yawn. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, what are you gonna do next, yawner?
What am I gonna do next?
I dressed up for this.
He put on a sweatshirt so that he's not just in a tank top.
Well, I put on a sweat. The main reason I put on a sweatshirt, and you know this, is because I still have this nasty ass bruise on my arm.
Yes, so he donates plasma twice a week, and a few weeks back they, what's the term?
Infiltrated my vein.
Infiltrated his vein. So, didn't hurt him at all, but he had a real pretty bruise.
Real pretty bruise.
Yeah, his bruise is still going away, and you can see it as it travels up the vein on his arm.
Yeah, well, the vein channel. It's not on the vein.
That's true. It's not on the vein.
That would be very bad.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, this isn't about me. It's your birthday. So what are you doing next, birthday girl?
Excuse me. I don't know. I did the main big things that I said I was going to do. So, would anybody be inclined to watch me play a little bit of Minecraft?
If it'll work with the streaming.
That's true. This is definitely a test of a lot of different things.
The computer might not be able to handle both.
Yeah, we gotta try that.
But
So anybody down to watch me try to play Minecraft?
play some Minecraft.
All right, what we're going to do is we're going to close a bunch of things here
Yes.
because I don't need them anymore. This will be my first time ever streaming a game, just so that you guys are aware of that.
Do you know how to flip between windows on a single computer?
I know you showed me at one point.
Alt-tab.
Alt-tab.
Yeah. Tab is above caps lock.
Yes, I know, but I'm like, why are they so far away from each other?
Yeah. See?
All right, Alt-tab. I am going to start bringing that up. And in the meantime, Ba-da-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. In the meantime, I'm going to take another...
Schedule, you know.
Oh, I know.
I keep getting your tweets.
I'm sorry. I know I was ahead because I jumped. I think I decided to cut something from the schedule. Because I did. I recorded 3 podcast episodes this morning. And so after reading through Eugenie, don't really have it in me to do another live reading tonight. So instead, it is preparing. You're always preparing.
Hey, it's Boy Scout. Be prepared.
That is very true. That is part of the Boy Scout motto.
That is the Boy Scout motto. Be prepared.
Ah.
Do you know what the Boy Scout oath is?
I used to.
I promise to do my best to
do my duty to
for
God and my country.
to follow the path of Akela and obey the law of the pack. That's Cub Scouts technically.
Ah. I was like, I've not heard the Akela part.
Yep.
My brother was an Eagle Scout, so I
know.
definitely heard it.
I barely made it into Cub Scouts. Shocker there. I wasn't much of a team player.
All right. So we're loading. Keep this program loaded. And Nick's just going to be behind me doing his thing.
I'm just trying to keep the troops entertained. Oh.
I know. It's doing its thing again.
I'm hoping it doesn't.
Well, it's frozen on the Clyde Tombaugh.
It's not frozen on it.
Oh.
Go to slobs.
Okay.
Oh, maybe it is frozen on it. Yeah, it's frozen on it. Okay, Control Delete. Just once. I was concerned about this.
Yeah.
Task
Task.
manager
Yeah.
might be cooking it. Expand it. Stretch it out. Where are all the programs you're running? Yeah. There they are. Minecraft isn't even on the list.
Java platform. SC binary.
Streamlabs on there 3 times. Yeah, it's bogging down your CPU.
Yay. So we may not be able to do this.
Oof. I zipped up my sweatshirt. It was a bad idea. Type in chat, say, computer bogged down. Yeah, we need to stop. We need to stop Minecraft.
Okay. Quick game.
Quick game. Shut it down entirely. %skipped frames. That's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Oh, maybe. Seems like it's coming back.
It does seem like it's coming back.
Yeah, it's coming back. There it is.
Okay. And we're back, apparently.
Yay, that was weird.
Yeah.
I need to do some work on this computer.
Okay.
Because it's choking. It should be able to do Minecraft.
Yeah.
I used to play, like, Subnautica and stream on that computer, so
Gotcha.
it should be able to handle Minecraft.
All right. Well, since it doesn't look like tonight this laptop is going to be able to handle streaming a game, and I am honestly starting to feel the crash coming because I've been up since 4:30, I think I'm going to say goodnight. So thank you everybody who came out. I really appreciate it, even if you were just here for the we couldn't figure out how to get the mic working stage. It was really great to chat and interact and read you guys my new story.
And you're going to do this more often, aren't you?
I am going to do this more often over on my own channel.
Which we will advertise the living hell out of. Because that's what we do.
Yeah, we tend to be shameless self-promoters. That came out of my mouth very strangely.
It's a hard phrase to say, shameless self-promoter.
Yeah, but promoter came out funny, and I don't know why.
Promoter.
Anyway, so thank you guys. Thank you for wishing me happy birthday. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me and playing some trivia with me and saying hi to Benny with me. And I'm going to say goodnight, and we're going to leave it here.
Happy birthday, Celosia.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.